Hey guys, how are you all doing? I hope that you all are doing well, and I believe that you are having fun learning English with me. Okay, so in our previous video we talked about nouns and its types. Today we are going to talk about number and gender of nouns. Okay, so before moving on to our new topic, we'll be discussing the work that I've given you. Okay, so let's move, and I hope that you've done your work. Okay, so the first question that I gave you was about forming the abstract nouns, okay? So these were the words create, I will read the answers for you, create, creation, false, falsehood, appoint, appointment, carry, carriage, and foolish, foolishness. Okay, I hope that you've done them right. You can check them, okay? Let's move on to our next question. Okay, this was the question whereby you were supposed to fill the collective nouns, right? So let me read them out for you. A pair of shoes, a pack of cards, a group of islands, a library of books, and a bouquet of flowers. I hope that nouns and its kinds are clear to you, and today we'll be moving on to our new topic, that is number and gender of nouns. Okay, so let's move on. Now, whenever we talk about number, what comes to your mind? A number means something that you can count, okay? So these numbers are categorized into three main categories, namely countable nouns, compound nouns, and uncountable nouns. As the name suggests, countable is something that can be counted, uncountable is something that cannot be counted, and compound means a noun that is made up out of two words, two or more words, and we'll be discussing them one by one. So let's move on. Now, differentiating between countable and uncountable nouns, it's very important. So, listen to it very carefully. Nouns which can be counted are called countable nouns. Nouns which cannot be counted are called uncountable nouns. Let me give you an example. If we talk about this pen, okay, if I keep 2 or 3 more pens, I can count them. 1 pen, 2 pen, 3 pen, 4 pens. Yes, I can count them. So, pen is a countable noun. Whereas, if I talk about, say, water, can I say 1 water, 2 water, 3 water, 4 water? No, I cannot. We'd also discuss that happiness. Happiness is also a noun, right? Can I say I am 1 happy, 2 happy, 3 happy? No, we cannot say. So, some nouns that we cannot count are termed as uncountable nouns. Okay, I hope that it is clear to you. Let's move on. Now, talking about countable nouns, countable nouns can be classified as singular nouns and plural nouns. So now, if we talk about, say, pen, yeah, so it will be a singular noun. But if I say pens, if I add an S, so it will be a plural one. Similarly, if I talk about book, books, singular, plural. If I talk about table, singular, tables, plural. Okay? So, let's move on. Talking about uncountable nouns, it's very important. Listen to them carefully. So, the nouns which cannot be counted, and these nouns cannot be formed into plural are termed as uncountable nouns. Just come to think of it. If I cannot count water, can I make it as waters as a noun? No, waters as a noun, it doesn't make any sense. Can I say rice? Can I say rices? The same thing. No, I cannot do that. Okay. So the essence is the nouns that you cannot count, they cannot be converted into plural forms. Okay. Now you will be asking me that, ma'am, we can say 1 liter of water, or we can say 500 ml of water. What is that? That is also counting, but I will say no, that's not counting, that is called measuring. You are measuring the quantity, or you are measuring the water. Yes, we can measure, but under the heading uncountable, the main thing that should be clear in your mind should be that we cannot count them, but we can measure them. Of course, we can measure them. Okay, talking about rice, we can measure rice, 1 kg rice, 2 kg rice, but we cannot count really like 1 rice, 2 rice, 3 rice. I hope you are understanding it. Sugar, again the same case, you can measure it, but you cannot count it. Talking about gold, happiness. Okay, so keep it very clear. If you have any doubt, just check it again, and you can ask me if you have any other doubt. Okay, so just keep it in mind. It's very important about uncountable nouns. People generally get confused about it. Okay, but I hope it's clear to you guys. Let's move on. Yeah, so we'll be talking about formation of plurals. Now, I talked about that countable nouns. We can count them and we can make them plural. For example, pen, pens, book, and books. Okay, so what are the ways? How are we going to make them plural? And we are going to study about that. So there are few ways you can make them plural. The first one is most nouns form their plurals by adding s to the singular. What do? You simply add s. For example, apple, apples. What did you do in this one? You just added an s. Rose, roses. If I say bag and bags, okay? Let me just write it for you. Say bag, when you're converting it into the plural, it will turn into bags, okay? Toy, toys. So you're just adding an s to it, okay? I hope it's clear. Let's move forward. Okay, the next type is the nouns ending in s, double s, x, sh or ch form their plurals by adding what? By adding es to the singular. Okay. Now, for example, gas, gases, tax and taxes. Okay, so if I give you some example of say ch, let's think of a word. Okay, the word is bunch. Bunch. It's a word that is ending with ch. If I make the plural of it, it will be bunches. So what did I do? I simply added es to it in order to make it plural. Okay, say box with x, I'm forming a word box. Yeah, so it will be as easy as adding es, and box you can simply convert into boxes. So I hope it's clear to you, and we'll be moving forward now. Okay, yes. Let's move forward. Now the third type is nouns ending in y. The nouns that end in y preceded by a consonant form their plural by what? By changing the y into ies. Here what they're trying to say is if any noun that ends with y, it is converted into plural by adding ies. Okay, so before getting into that, you might be thinking that, ma'am, are we supposed to learn all these, that these are the rules, that how we convert them by adding IES, by adding IS or ES? No, you don't have to cram them up. You just need to understand that how they are formed, okay? You need not cram them, okay? You just need to understand them and practice them, okay? Practice is really important. So getting back, ladies, here you see Y is converted into IES, army and armies. Another example, think of some other noun. Okay, another example is baby, and I can write it as babies. So you see again the Y is converted into IES. Okay, so I hope it's clear, and let's move forward. Now we'll be talking about the nouns that are ending in O preceded by a consonant. Generally form their plurals by changing es to the singular. Okay, they're trying to say that if you have a noun which ends with an O, okay, it's ending with an O, it is preceded. Preceded means one letter before O is a consonant. It will get changed by adding es, okay. For example, mango, mangoes. Cargo, cargoes. You see, just O should be preceded by a consonant and it is converted into es. Okay, let me give you another example. Let's say echo. You can see it also ends with word O and it is preceded again by a consonant. How are we going to make it? It will be echoes. Simply you have added es to it. So this is how you can form plurals out of the singular nouns. Okay, I hope it's clear, and we'll move forward. Now, the last category that we are going to talk about is compound nouns, and these are very important, and if you wish to write the definition, you can write, or otherwise listen to me carefully. Okay, so before moving on, I told you before also that what are compound nouns? Compound nouns are the nouns that are made by combining two or more than two words. Okay, let's say if we talk about, let's say bedroom. Okay, bed. Let's talk about bed first. What is bed? Yes, bed is a thing and it's a noun. If you talk about room, again it's a thing. But when I combine these two words, it will become a bedroom. Okay, so compound means combining of two or more words. Okay, let's read the definition. A compound noun is a noun made up of two or more words. I've given an example, that is toothpaste. If you come to think about it, tooth is separately different. Tooth, so tooth is separately different. Paste is different. But when I combine these two words, tooth and paste, it becomes one word which has a total different meaning than their actual meanings. Okay, toothpaste that we use in the morning to brush our teeth. Okay, so now the next point about compound nouns, and it is they generally form their plurals by adding s to what? To the main noun. Now guys, this point is really important. This is the point whereby I find many people doing the same mistake or getting confused about. We'll be discussing this now in a couple of seconds, okay? So just keep it in mind that whenever you are converting compound nouns into plural, you are going to add s, but to what? Yes, you are going to add s to the main noun. Let's move forward. Okay, now here are some examples. Earlier also I mentioned that compound nouns could be made by forming two words or more than two. Now, you must have heard of these words: father-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, mother-in-law. Yes, so you will see here that these are made up of more than two words. These are the three words. Okay, so what is the point? What is the major point where I find people making the same mistake? Whenever converting into plural, people tend to say that father-in-laws. I have personally heard many people saying and doing the same mistake: father-in-laws, mother-in-laws, sister-in-laws, and which is totally incorrect. This one is totally incorrect. Keep it in your mind. Okay, why is it incorrect? Okay, I told you before also, whenever you are going to convert into plural, you are going to add s to the main verb. Father-in-law, what is the main verb here? Yes, father is the main verb. So you're going to add s to the father. So it will become fathers-in-law. So this is the right way of writing it. Okay, moving on, stepdaughter. Come to think of it, stepdaughter. Now, which is the main noun here? Stepdaughter. Yes, daughter is the main noun. How are you going to make plural out of it? You are going to add s to daughter and it will become stepdaughters. Again, the right way. Okay, so I hope that this is clear to you. Now, these are some categories. These are different types of compound nouns. Now, I want to, like from these examples, I want to explain you that we can form compound nouns by using two different words. Either it could be noun plus noun, it could be a preposition plus noun, it could be a verb plus noun. So let's learn how. Okay, so the first one that I have for you is bedroom. Bed. If we talk about bed, bed is a noun. Room, again it's a noun, but I combine them both, it will become bedroom. So it's a noun plus noun example. Okay, hair, hair is again noun. But what about cut? You remember cutting? So cutting is a verb, action word. Okay, so noun plus verb. I made a word, hair, cut. Okay, I hope it's clear to you. Now, another word is underground. Under, yes, it's a preposition, under. Ground, it's a noun. So underground is a compound noun that is made up of preposition plus noun. So this is how you can make compound nouns. So my homework for you guys today is that you guys are going to make compound nouns. You're going to think about them, form them and comment them down. Okay, so let's move forward. So now we are going to start with our next topic, that is gender. Okay, we've discussed numbers now we will be moving on to gender. So now when we talk about gender, it is basically classified into four categories, namely masculine gender, feminine gender, common gender and neuter gender. Yes, you're right. So let's move on. Now this is a table which will actually prove very helpful to you guys. So you can pause and also you can just listen to it carefully. This is a very helpful one. So let's read one by one. Now, what about the masculine gender? Yes, the male noun is called the masculine gender. Example, boy, husband, tiger, lion, etc. So, all the male genders fall under the category of masculine gender. Feminine gender, all the female genders again. Let me read it for you. The female noun is called feminine gender. Example, girl, wife, tigress, etc. or lioness. Okay. So now moving on, common gender and neuter gender. These are the genders where people find most of the difficulty or the confusion between what is a common gender, what is a neuter gender. Okay. So, but I hope by the end of this video you will have no such doubts regarding common gender or neuter gender. Okay, so now before moving on to common gender, let's just think about it. What do you mean by the word common? Yes, common means something that is common to both of them. So now here means common that it could either be a male gender or it could be a female gender and it is not known to you. Okay, for example, you're asking me, Mom, where are you going? I say that I'm going to visit a friend of mine. So if I talk about a friend, now you don't know whether the friend is a male or a female. So in this case, it will fall under the category of common gender, whereby you cannot tell whether it's female or it's a male. Okay, and then I ask you back that where are you going, what are you doing this evening? So you say that, ma'am, I have an appointment with the doctor. So by this statement, by your word doctor, I know that you're going to visit a doctor, but I don't know whether the doctor is a he or a she, whether it's the masculine gender or it's the feminine gender. So I will put the word doctor under the heading common gender. Okay, so it's clear. Let us read. The noun that refers to both male and female is called common gender. For example, teacher, okay, friend, doctor, teacher, student, etc. Okay. If I say my student love to learn English, so in students, all the male students as well as the female ones. Okay, let's move on to the neuter gender. Now, there are some things that you cannot classify as male or female. If I talk about this pen, can you classify whether it is a male or a female? If I talk about this board, can you classify whether it's male or female? No, you cannot. So in the things whereby you cannot classify as male or female, these are termed as neuter gender, and mostly they include the non-living things. Okay, so let's read. The nouns which are non-living things and cannot be categorized as male or female are called neuter gender. Okay, for example, toy, pencil, book, or you can say a box, lunch box. Okay, so these are some examples of neuter gender. I hope that this topic is clear to you, and we'll be meeting up in our next video. Until then, take care.